was a low-grade pedophile. That's all I'm asking.
Well,
What if Doug's Mr. Dink, like the whole time he's like, "Oh, Douglas, this is very expensive," and then like the last episode, like
and
Mr.
he's
Dink
like,
is
"You want to go in my basement, Doug?"
getting called off to jail, and like as he's being put in the car, he looks and Doug looks out the window, and they just make eye contact, and they know, like Doug knows he avoided something, and Mr. Dink is like, "That's that one that got away," and that's it. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
I'm dying over here.
It's freaking like his music, like boom, 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 boom. That's why he's being driven off.
The police car.
Oh my god!
And just as it goes dark and the credits roll, you just hear one last very dark, low, like.
Oh god!
Christ!
And Mr. Dink's legacy will haunt that town forever. Anyway, back to the game.
It's very upsetting.
They blend like the legend of the nematode with like the horrible, sex crimes of Mr. Dink.
His wife ran for mayor when Disney bought it. They had to really downplay him. For a show 3 out of 4 of us know and 3 out of 4 of us don't really like, we sure do know a lot about it.
We didn't have the internet really, so whatever was on TV was on TV. So you watched Doug, even if you hated it. You watched Legends of the Hidden Temple, even though those I could put together those dumbass statues, and I'm not even that coordinated.
No, you know what? Turn 12 again and an audience of strangers try to put together a folk monkey statue and see how well you do. Especially if you're wearing.
All right, find you a fucking time machine, dude. There's other stuff I would rather do actually if I could go back. But sure, if that's that's the shot I get, that's the shot I'll fucking take. So
see win rates for Legends of the Hidden Temple teams because the orange iguanas and the purple parrots were terrible.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say this super important thing about Doug. Where's the remote?
Oh God.
Okay, this is the episode about the barber. Hold on a moment. I just got to show this because this is probably the coolest. If you're going to be a barber and have a business card, this is a cool business card. And then we'll move on to the game proper. Okay, go away. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's a razor.
What?
That's not dangerous at all.
That is pretty fucking dope.
As far as business cards go, that's a slick one. Also, it says very expensive. Because of course it does. Because Mr. Dink gave it to him.
Oh God.
Mr. Dink wanted for sex crimes.
I'm telling you, I could have written way better ending for Doug. It would have.
I'm children's show. Doug.
I want to see this Doug fan fiction.
I am looking at these stats now. Legends of the Hidden Temple, Season 1, Orange Iguanas, lowest win rate. Season 2, Orange Iguanas, lowest win rate. Season 3, Purple Parrot. No, Blue Barracudas, lowest win rate.
Oh, shit.
And then Season 4, we're just back to the total, the Orange Iguanas lost everything.
Really?
So if the producers just didn't like you, they stuck you on the orange iguana.
Yeah. If you're just one of those annoying kids, you were an orange iguana. Damn.
Wow.
Red Jaguars won. Anyway, we have
But did Jet Jaguar win anything?
Jet Jaguar wins in our hearts.
Don't know who this is.
You don't know Jet Jaguar?
Sam,
not.
Go ahead. We'll go on one more little tangent. Go ahead.
Jet Jaguar is essentially a giant Power Ranger that fights Godzilla. He is incredible. He is just literally like the Japanese, Tokyo built Jet Jaguar to fight Godzilla. Fuck Mechagodzilla. He's Jet Jaguar.
Look, Ultraman was popular, and Toho had to get in.
All right, makes sense. I could see that. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to find this dude.
They could probably give you more context.
Too much.
Huh?
Mechagodzilla was just unreliable. Let's be honest.
Well, there was. Cool. All I'm gonna say is
Mechagodzillas look cool.
There was one Jet Jaguar. There's about 3 Mechagodzillas. Jet Jaguar was perfect
Mothra
the first time.
Mothra best kaiju.
Mothra's pretty fucking dope.
Virtual fist bump on that.
Yes, Mothra.
I'm a Mothra man through and through.
I'm a pretty big fan of Gigan, honestly. The weird, scythe alien monster robot cyborg thing. It was pretty cool.
I put you a picture of Jet Jaguar in our general chat there.
Oh Jesus.
And before we go into Game Proper, one final thing. Who has all 4 original Batman movies on Blu-ray?
You do.
Guy.
And you only needed 2.
I still have to watch the last one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we've lost him.
Cut off. No.
Batman and silent. Yeah, sorry. Sam can attest.
I think me and Chase are fighting for internet right now.
Oh no.
We're literally fighting over it.
Yeah, because now Sam's freezing up.
Y'all been freezing up this whole time. We'll make do.
All right, so who wants to do a quick recap?
Yeah. Someone who's not me.
Whoever wants to can go.
I'm trying to remember everything.
So we met at the Skunk Ape Migration just to sort of get together and get on the same page. And it turned out that Peter had been given a note that said that that was last time, wasn't it? We met up again though, because we knew that the critters and we're trying to figure out how to get an in, or trying to figure out what the connection is. And then Geek showed up, and turns out he's going by Daniel. Rat. Sorry. Sorry.
Henceforth known as Daniel.
I was about to say Daniel.
He's cut off his dreads. He's apparently a very clean shaven, but he's still kind of ratty in his
goatee,
facial hair. But he's straightened up and been flying right for the past week and a half. Each time he's joined a church,
he found
he's very serious about it. So he was telling us about the pastor, whose name was Freddie Thomas, a very tall and imposing man, who we ended up looking up a video online, and he appeared to use his hands in some sort of healing capacity. And Daniel was telling us how very powerful his presence was, yada yada. So we decided we were going to go to this tent revival, and Jeb ended up going and sitting with Daniel toward the front, and got a good bird's eye view of everything, and how his hands kind of were stigmata-y, but they weren't actively bleeding. It wasn't like a tattoo. It was a lot of things, but it looked weird.
And he's got some followers that wear bandages like him and everything.
And but they are bleeding.
Hands.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time. So he saw that. He did one little miracle, and then he dipped. And so Jeb ended up going to his trailer. And now he's got a date to go meet with this guy maybe the next day, possibly. So, yeah, get it.
Because Jeb has a track record for meeting potential villains.
and coming out perfectly fine, as always.
Yeah, totally okay. Nothing not gonna happen.
That's why Beryl's not coming this time. Because I can't handle it again if I fuck up.
I'm pretty concerned about you, bud, but
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, are you going to be flying solo during this little interview?
Oh, here's my one concern. I don't want to overtake the session by just me talking to
you won't be.
The Reverend. Okay, good. so then it's us up to us three. I think Jeb would honestly try to go by himself. Considering what happened with Geek, and whatnot, I think he would want to go by himself.
Himself in a possibly dangerous situation.
So
yeah, because I don't think he wants to.
Even though it's literally my job to play all the bad guys, do you recall how you probably would have died if it was just you against Geek?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
yeah, but playing to Jeb's vice a little bit with loyalty, he feels like he kind of threw Beryl under the bus last time. Not intentionally, but because of his actions, she almost died, and so Jeb wouldn't do it again. He wouldn't.
So, dude, we're in the monster hunting business, apparently.
I was about to say though, Beryl, you've not really talked to Jeb about that, so that's why he would be feeling that way.
I did try to tell him it was okay, but then I was on painkillers, so I'm sure that
Yeah, you're like,
it was true though. It's fine.
You know what, Jeb? You know what? I respect that. What's your willpower? What's it at right now?
It is. What the hell is all? There's just a bunch of goop on my sheet. I'm sorry. My willpower right now, I've got 5 of them, and I haven't risked any.
Okay, so I was going to say you get a point of willpower back because, like, you're basically putting your life on the line.
When you say it like that, it sounds very ominous.
Yeah, especially when
an extra.
Sorry, say it again. You broke up. I get a
Yeah,
willpower.
sorry. No, since you're full at willpower, the next time you spend a willpower, you get a +2 just automatically because I respect you putting your life on the line and in pursuit of your vice.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so it's just Jeb. No one knows where he is today. He didn't tell them that he planned ahead and to go alone. We're gonna have fun with this.
But I think he did, though.
I think I did.
Hey, if we're getting into it at this point, like, how long is this away from the last time when we all went to the big tent revival?
It is the next day.
Then I'm gonna say Peter is still out there camping near the Skunk Ape Temple. He has not even come back to civilization since he last saw them.
Well,
okay, and
I was
also
gonna help out with that.
Okay, that's cool. One thing I'm going to say, Peter, in the last session, you took a critical failure or a dramatic failure that I didn't tell you how it's going to pay off. Just reminding you that that's still floating out there. Okay, so also, Jeb, are you camping with him and just wandering off to go talk to the good pastor?
Well, I did the last session. I did tell them that I had a meeting with them.
Because I remember expressing doubts and sort of worry about him going in there by his limits.
And Peter barely paid attention to that because his focus is solely on Skunk Ape.
And you were also scratched up by your cat.
Well,
yeah.
Some of both,
Poor baby.
Probably.
So no, I feel like Jeb probably went. I feel like he probably went back home. Because I think he was going to try and meet the. Is he a reverend or is he a pastor? Does it matter? Reverend.
I mean,
we've been calling him pastor.
We're just going to use it. Yeah, you guys have not really found out what his denomination is, if he has one at all. So we're just, for all intents and purposes, it's interchangeable right now.
Okay. So I feel like Jeb would try to meet him early because a pastor, reverend, whatever. He's probably an early riser. And Jeb
just call him Pastor Reverend.
Yeah.
Pastor, Reverend, Rabbi.
Generally speaking,
and he walks into bars.
They're the ones that are going to do like tent revivals and stuff. Reverends tend to be a little bit more respectful.
Okay, all right, we'll say Pastor. Pastor Freddy.
When you meet him, just address him as your holiness.
Yeah. My divinity.
Yes, my liege, if you want. So anyway, yeah. So then, you guys went to the tent revival on Saturday. It is now Sunday, early in the morning. You go to same location, big honking, big red tent, and a rather large RV parked where you assume that's where he's going to be. That's where he retreated last time.
Mm-hmm. So I'll go up and just knock on his RV.
Okay, so it opens, and I got silvery trimmed hair that's slicked back. Not really wearing any kind of vestments or a suit or anything. He's just a standard t-shirt and khakis. I mean, still almost business casual, but far more comfortable than what he was wearing last time.
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, yes, how may I help you?
Pastor Freddie, my name's Jeb O'Neill. I talked with one of your helpers or your followers yesterday, and he said that I might be able to have a word with you.
He says, yes, you talked to Jamil. He said you had a few questions that you were quite roused by my sermon.
Well, yeah, I was, I was brought there by a friend, and I was just, wanted to try to talk to you a little bit if you had some time.
He goes, certainly, come on in. As he's walking in, you do notice that his hands are still bandaged.
Okay, all right. What does the inside of the RV look like?
It is not. I mean, it's an expense. It is clearly an expense. There's no such thing as a cheap RV, pretty much, unless you just hook a trailer onto the bed of a truck, But like this kind of thing, it's the RV itself looks expensive. The kind of thing that someone who's retired and dropped a bunch of money on would buy, but it's not gaudy on the inside. It's very minimalist. Like just bare necessities, essential. There's a couch, there's a TV, but it's not like latest and greatest in sound systems and stuff. It's basically just like small comforts, a lot of books.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll go over to the bookshelf and just kind of look and just be like, oh, so you're a big reader, trying to break the ice and feel cozy.
Yeah, I mean, you're glancing through it, and it's mostly classics. That run the gamut. I mean, you're seeing works of Shakespeare, Russian literature. Nothing really new. Like, I mean, most of the new stuff is inspirational, like Christian literature. That's and yeah, nothing terribly out of the ordinary, unless you want to like roll for anything, to look for anything in particular.
No, just just gonna hang out there and be like, well, I appreciate you meet with me. I'm sure you're a busy man, especially
I gotta grab something. I go and keep talking. I got my headphones.
We're lazy you bad.
What were you saying, Sam?
Sorry, you're breaking up real bad.
Yeah, when you move that phone, man, you don't got any signal.
You just don't got it.
Okay.
Now
you were saying? Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll probably have to give me a second, but yeah, I mean, anyways, the last thing I heard was when I asked if you wanted to make a roll, you said no. What was that?
No, yeah, I don't care to roll. So yeah, I'll just address the pastor and be like, yeah, I just really appreciate you spending some time with me and let me in and having a chat with you. I'm sure you're a real busy man, especially today being Sunday and whatnot. But yeah, I told Jamil that I was interested in learning more about kind of your beliefs and kind of what you're speaking on a little bit. So I was just kind of hoping to kind of understand where you're coming from.
You see him as he wanders off into the kitchen area, the fridge, got some soda, got bottled water, beers in here if you want one.
Real quick, storyteller. Since two of you are sharing internet, maybe, and you probably have other people sharing internet.
Yeah, I've turned everything else off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still a mite rough.
Yeah,
I have a crazy idea. Do you want to axe one of our computers, Chase, and then coalesce in one of our rooms?
We will do that after this one. After this, we'll record it.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think I got that he walked over to his kitchen and was offering me a beverage.
Yeah, basically, he was just that's pretty much all I said. He's just offering you, would you like a water, Coke, beer?
Yeah, I'll take a water. It's a little too early to start beer drinking as much as I like it. So I'll take a water.
Yeah. Okay, he reaches in, grabs a bottle of Dasani, starts walking over, and he's like, yeah, I've pretty much been telling the good word for, about 20 years at this point, since the early 90s. Since the late 90s. Just every now and again just kind of swing by. I took over from the guy who taught me the way.
You say the way, is that just is that what you call your doctrine, or your I guess your sect of belief, or is that maybe what you're referring to when you talk about your healing? Because that healing, I've never seen anything like that. That was pretty incredible.
He laughs. He's like, well, it's nothing quite as cultish as that. It's just a nice little way. Like, I don't really have any of the people who are like following me, helping me out and stuff. I don't really have them call it the way or anything. Pretty much, yeah. What I was gifted with was, it ended up, happening about a little over 20 years ago when I first started hearing about all this stuff. Same situation. There was a tent revival, and the guy running it, he thought I had something special, and I took up where he left off afterwards.
Wow, so this is something that's been going on for a while now. That's really interesting. I'd never heard about anything. Or I guess I'd heard some stuff was probably not true. It's dismiss it as some hullabaloo and whatnot. But I never knew this was actually something that was real that had been passed on like this.
Well, we bounce around from place to place up around the the southern end of the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, pretty much the last time I was over this way was about 20 years ago. Raised in the same area, really.
Oh, really? Really? Do you know any people here? Do you got any kinfolk down here still?
Not really. I was in kind of a bad way at the time.
Well, I gotta ask you that healing. You say you got the power, or the gift rather. Was that given to you? I mean, where, from your mentor? I mean, where does that come from? I mean, I gotta ask. Maybe that's some secret or something. But I'd kick myself if I didn't ask.
Yes. Well, I don't blame you for a little bit of skepticism, but it's the power of God.
And so it was just gifted to you. I mean, did he just your mentor just blessed you or something, and it was just done?
He didn't so much bless me as he awakened me. He showed me that there was more to this world than what we see. And after that, I started doing what my what my followers do. You probably saw their hands if you talked to Jamil, just bleeding profusely. And now he holds up his hand, and it's still bandaged, but there's no bleeding. But he starts like unwrapping one, and just a red, you can almost see like a little bit of a pucker around his palm. But it's not wet. It's not like moving or anything. It's just a red spot. He's like, yeah, that is it's on both of them. When I started, at being able to control my gifts from God, that's the blood essentially dried.
Well, that's incredible, Mister. I mean, that's crazy. Not crazy in a bad way. I've just never seen anything like that. So your awakening, how did that mentor awaken? How did he show you? And what do you mean by there's more to the world than meets the eye? I mean, obviously, God and heaven and hell, but I mean, you talk about like another like realm on this earth.
He kind of cocks his head. He's like, I don't know if I'm talking about that necessarily. Just God works in mysterious ways, and through some of us, he talks to the common people, shows them the light.
Yeah, that's just so surprising, because I never thought I'd be talking to someone that could actually heal. What does it feel like when you're healing somebody?
Well, it feels a lot better than when I was bleeding from the hands. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I bet that hurt. Yeah, I bet that was a son of a gun.
He says, now it's just, I don't really feel much of anything. It's just, I place my hands and I just think of what, of the sicknesses I want to heal, and the sicknesses wash away.
So let me ask you: do you have to like talk to God at all, or do you talk to Him, or just like pray and He speaks back, and that's how you know where to go? I mean, how do you listen to Him? I mean, do you have like an amulet or something that you like hold? I mean, I don't know if like you're kind of Catholic. I know Catholics will hold a little cross or something. I mean, I'm not Catholic, but I'm sure if it's something like that, you have like a little totem or something.
He goes, well, that's a tough question to answer. Truth be told, God hasn't talked to me in a very long time, but that doesn't mean I can't talk to Him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean that's what all praying is, right? You're talking to the good Lord.
I think eventually He'll hear me, though. I haven't, I'm on a mission, and that mission is for Him to hear me, and take people. Take as many people to Him as I can, but not in a crazy way, obviously. Not like a bunch of bodies or anything. He kind of like ribs you while he's saying that.
Yeah, no, like Heaven's Gate, nothing, bizarre, or, Jonestown stuff, and that's a cult. Yeah, that's a cult. Nothing like that, right?
This conversation's taking a real turn.
Just digging and digging and digging.
So, is there anything else you'd like to ask me, Mr.
O'Neill? Yeah, I guess I never, actually introduced myself. Jeb O'Neill, and I go to shake his hand.
Yeah, and he reaches out and, grabs you, and it's you can feel it against your palm. Like he grabs you with the open, not wrapped hand, and the closest thing you can say is that it feels like cold sandpaper.
Okay.
Like it is icy cold to your touch, but it is coarse.
Okay. All right. And how firm is the handshake? I want to judge the man.
He's got a firm handshake. And that's the thing, is that his palms they're calloused. But even despite the calluses, that particular spot, like you can make it out very clearly.
It's like a very cold
dude, so it's probably a very big hand, like very like wrapping your hand.
It's wrapping your hand. Yeah,
Jeb's not a small guy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but this dude's like what, 7 foot tall or some shit?
Yeah, he's 7 foot tall.
All right. So Jeb will, give an equally firm handshake. Just a good handshake. I'm not trying to squeeze him or have a pissing contest, but give him a real good handshake and be like,
you meet like that. You both flex.
We're both sweating profusely, muscles glistening.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. You look Terminator too. Yeah. So Jeb will shake his hand and be like, yeah, I just want to kind of get a better idea, talk to the source of this information, because I told Jamil that it'd be, not to fluff my own feathers or anything, but I have a store downtown, Jeb's O'Neill's hardware store, so I meet a lot of people. So if I start really following your doctrine, which it sounds legitimate, then I can always kind of try to tell people about what you're doing here if I kind of like what you're doing. So that's kind of why I want to meet. I want to, tell my people in the town, something that I didn't, get to know first. I didn't kind of verify first. So that's just kind of why I wanted to come by. But really appreciate your time.
You nervous, Jeb?
Not at all.
He goes, well, it was certainly good to meet you, and we'd love to see you through the rest of the month. If you could certainly put the good word out. I mean, it's, we're here to spread the good word, and, if anyone, if you happen to know anybody who happens to be like sick or infirm, I mean, we don't charge anything.
That's good, because again, that's kind of, where it gets like, televangelist kind of stuff, and that's that's the bull. That's a malarkey. But anyways, come by my hardware store if you ever need anything. We got guns, tools, wood, boards, try. You got anything you need. We're just drop in and say hello. I'm always down there. So thanks again, Pastor.
Not a problem. Also, I've noticed since I turned a bunch of stuff off, basically just the TV. It's cleared up a lot, so yay on that.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
Doug fucked it up. It was Doug's
God
fault.
damn it, Doug.
Doug.
Like
fucking everything up.
Fucked up everything.
Does.
And we're gonna cancel on that one and maybe roll into the